First, I want to say thank you so much for watching my video, for dropping your comment, for sharing, and even for following us on social media. So, in case you are yet to follow us on social media, please you can kindly follow us on Twitter. I follow back every account that follow me, so that we can have proper conversations and ask. So, we are going away today to St. James Park to face Newcastle in the second leg of the Carabao Cup. Remember in the first leg, we were beaten at the Emirates Stadium by 2 goals to 0. So today we are actually going away to St. James Park. And today we are going to be looking at Arteta's presser and also the preview. Okay, guys, so welcome again to the Arsenal in main channel. Just like I have said, if you are yet to subscribe to my channel, please kindly do so. Now, let us start with Arteta's presser, right? So, very well, Mikel Arteta yesterday at the Sober Reality, studio had interactions with, of course, the journalist. So, according to what is here, he says before he headed up the northeast for our Carabao Cup semi-final second leg against Newcastle United, Mikel Arteta had his pre-match press conference at the Sober Reality Training Center. So the boss was asked about the team news, the closure of the transfer window, his emotions heading into the game, and his plans for the break following the game. Here is everything he has to say. So on the team news, Mikel Arteta says there is no news from the game against City. Ben White is still out. Hopefully after the break, he will be available. Saka not yet. So on if Bukayo Saka could be back in match, he says, I do not know. On the mood in the camp ahead of the semi-final. So Mikel responded by saying that the next step is a final in Wembley. So we know how big that is, and you can feel it straight away. The boost the game against City gave us, the manner that we won it, and the fact that it is a game in the competition where we are closest to a final. So we are going to give it a real go. I mean, of course, Arsenal is going to give it a real go because today I actually predict Arsenal to at least to win that game by 3-0, 3-0. And we are actually going to qualify today because Newcastle won Arsenal. Although we didn't play well that day, but that was just in one of as far as I'm concerned. I do not think they're going to get another chance at that today. So I see us winning today by 3 goals to 0. It's really, really going to be a fun match. It's really going to be an interesting watch because that match is very, very important. If we do not win that match, we are actually not going to be going to the next round, which I think is the final. So it is crucial that we win that match so that we can be one step closer to winning that cup since 1993. Because one of the most important things every Arsenal fans are yearning for right now is the ability for the team to be able to win at least a cup. You know, for many fans, it doesn't matter what cup it is, just for us to win, a cup. So I also feel like that as well. I'll be very glad if you're able to win something today. So as we head to St. James's Park today, I really, really hope that we can be able to take the game by its own and really, really win. So Mikel Arteta was asked on having put work into transfer that may help us in the summer. He responded by saying that we had a clear intentions, which is always there. There is a window open to explore opportunities to improve our squad with players that can impact it. We haven't achieved it, so we are disappointed in that sense. But as well, we are very aware that we only want to bring in certain kinds of players, and we have to be very disciplined with that as well. And I think that we are. So remember yesterday I made a video on why I think Arsenal actually did not have a failed transfer window. So I'll be attaching the video on this. You can check up here or here for the video so that you can check it out. My reasons why I believe Arsenal actually did not have a failed transfer window. For many reasons, I listed a couple of reasons. And one of the reasons actually in that video is the fact that we have our top players returning, just like I've read in this in this presser. It says that very, very soon Ben White is on the verge of returning. We have not seen Ben White in a long time. So our squad depth will begin to get stronger, as well as many other factors that I actually listed in that video. So please kindly check out the video. It should be here or here, somewhere up there. So going forward, You see that he was asked about on Newcastle being a boogie team. He says, I don't know that word. You know, they are a very difficult team to play against, and they have been very different games. You know, we beat them at home last year in a good way, and obviously this season have been different with two very different games as well. It's another opportunity in front of us, a big one that can take us to Wembley. So I'm really looking forward to it. So that match is a match that honestly we have to win. I will be very, very, in fact, I will be buzzing on social media if we win that match. So please remember to follow the Arsenal in me on X so that we can have the conversations like I have said. Now on who his boogie team was as a player, he says Barcelona, that was one. On Arsenal not winning the cup since 1993, remember I mentioned the last time we won the Carabao Cup was since 1993. Mikel Arteta responded that in the domestic cup we have an unbelievable record, but historically the League Cup has been difficult and tough, so it's a good opportunity again to make history. I agree with you, Mikel. So it's a good opportunity to make history. That is the more reason why we have to put in all of our effort today. So I believe that the squad we are going to be seeing today is actually going to be the squad that faced Manchester City. You know, with actually no additions because now I think we are actually getting stronger instead of getting depleted. For a while, we have been depleted. We have had series of injuries, but now our players are returning, and it's a good thing. It's a good thing because these are the crucial part of the season. These are we won our most important match, you know, since the second half of the season, which was against, of course, Manchester City, because Manchester City had the absolute potential to take points away from us, which will make it difficult for us to actually patch up on Liverpool. So if our squad now returns back to the full strength, of course, we'll be in full gear. So I really, really hope that Mikel can get the boys to win today on not getting a striker and being confident that we can score the goals we need against Newcastle. He says they are two separate teams. One, I think we talk very openly from my side and a club perspective about the intentions to improve the squad. You know, if we have the capacity to do it, then most importantly, to keep improving the team and the individuals within the team because they are the ones that we have and we love. So that is it. And from now, there is no discussion about it. And we focus on the things that we have continued to do even when the window was open. So Mikel, throughout the transfer window, I made a video as well, where I actually said that Arsenal was not going to make any transfer. I made that video because I have, if you have supported Arsenal long enough, you would know Arsenal would not make any transfer. And there were also reasons I listed in that video. I can't remember the reasons in particular. I will also link the video to this particular video so that you can watch the video. Now, Mikel, the way Mikel handles business is he's a lucky man, and with the fact that he's in a club or an organization that also has that same mentality, makes it really easy for Mikel. I don't think Mikel believes in buying players in January. I do not think so. The more reason why it is very difficult for us to compare ourselves to Manchester City because Manchester City this January, for example, have spent 200 and about I think 270 million pounds on getting players in, although they have a really really bad squad. So maybe our situations are different. But Arsenal, if you have supported Arsenal enough, I started supporting Arsenal since Arsenal Wenger, and I have always known the culture that it is very difficult for Arsenal to make any reasonable transfer, even if they want to make at all in January. So I think Mikel is just following suit on that obligation. So he was asked on if he gets nervous in a semi-final as a manager. He said, "I don't think that is the word. Excited for sure. We are lean, hungry, and enthusiastic because we are very close to playing in a final, and hopefully we can achieve it tomorrow." So we are lean on squad. Yes, we have Bukayo Saka, we have Yuri Timber, Zinchenko. I don't think Zinchenko is injured. I think he's only not playing because maybe now he's not good enough. I actually even expected Zinchenko to leave in this just concluded transfer window, because he was severally linked to Inter Milan. But as far as Arsenal is concerned, we had no in, but we had, I think, one out or so. And that was the youngster that went to Manchester City. That was the youngster. I mean, that was the youngster that went to Manchester United. So, that was the youngster. I mean, that was the youngster that went to Manchester United. So, that was the youngster that went to Manchester United. So, that was the youngster that went to Manchester United. So, that was the youngster that went to Manchester United. So, that was the youngster that went to Manchester United. So, He was asked on Miles Lewis Kelly's Rise. He says the players will be best placed to express how they feel about Miles in the particular game because they are sitting next to each other. They share the pitch, which is the most important thing. What I've always said is how they feel about these young players when they come in. Do they trust them? Do they feel like they are stronger with them? And that is the feeling that I get when we give them that opportunity. For me, they are already in our eyes, but in the team's feeling as well, you know, they feel that they can be better with them. So Lewis Kelly gave an hey performance in our match against Manchester City. He didn't only score; he also really played very well, defended very well. Made some certain players in Manchester City silent. He attacked the ball, he moved the ball. Youngster, very very confident. A lot of Manchester City fans have been ravaged by the celebration he made. I do not see any big deal in that. If you have watched Arsenal match enough, I mean, if you have watched the Premiership enough, you realize that rivalries are important in football. There has been rivalries since the time of Alex Ferguson as well as the Arsenal Wenger. When Jose Mourinho came back to England, I mean, as a Chelsea coach, there was also rivalry between Arsenal and Chelsea. There was rivalry between Arsenal and Tottenham. There has always been rivalry between those two clubs. So things like that are about to happen. Football is not supposed to be static. Football is supposed to be entertaining. And the footballers that we are talking about, they're carried away by emotions and everything like that. They are playing for the badge. They are not playing to make you feel how you think they need to make you feel. You do not want Arsenal players to celebrate. You don't want them to celebrate in a kind of way. But if it is Man City is allowed to celebrate in a kind of way. No, that is bad. So on being responsible for Ethan Nwaneri's development, Mikel responded by saying that very much, but with every player regardless of their age. Obviously, they each have a different component, especially when they are not even 18 years old. And we have other cases in the team as well. As parents, I imagine they rely on us to educate them, transmit the right values to them, looking after them, especially protecting them emotionally and physically. It's a lot of responsibility, but thankfully we share it with quite a lot of people, and I think they are in good hands. So Etanu Nwaneri has been phenomenal. He has been amazing. He has been playing really very well. Scored against Manchester City, a very beautiful goal, Saka-like kind of goal. These young players have some sort of aura, some sort of confidence that rivals those of the old days. Because the players of the old days, for example, playing from a very young age, also has that kind of aura, also has that kind of confidence. They want to play in every match. They want to play in big matches. They want to deliver in big matches. So it's really, really a kudos to the you know the Haaland project that Arsenal has, that is the youthful program, is really, really a very important one because they are able to, bring in the best of players into the senior team. So Mikel continued with his presser and says, on the difference in confidence in the first leg, he says when you compare the emotional state of the team straight away after the defeat and the manner that it happened and now we are. Today is very different because we come from a very strong performances. Some great wins and especially the last one at home against Manchester City. So keep this momentum and after the game we will have a break. So it's the moment to go full gas, ready to go for it and try to approach it in the way that we believe is the best one to be in the final. So as it is right now, the news says that after this match, Arsenal are going to be going away to the United Arab Emirates to, for their usual Dubai Sunshine kind of thing. That is actually sponsored by, I think, our major sponsor, the Fly Emirates. So I hope when the guys go for that, yeah, they will come back refreshed, they will come back happy, they will come back excited. Because because the last season when they went for something like that and they came back in January, we actually won all of our matches except one match that we needed to win, and unfortunately we didn't win and cost us the league, of course. And that was the match against Aston Villa. That was last season. But minus that, they did amazingly well. So obviously, it's going to also be a reboost. By the time they go to Dubai and return back, they are able to win the rest of the matches that is remaining this season. On whether he's frustrated that the club didn't make any sign, he says no, because when you try your best and you do things with the right process, and you see the people that we all share the same intentions with and will, and after you don't achieve it, okay, there are things to learn from it. So he says there always are, but you have to move on. That is a piece that was important in the moment, and now we have to move on. And nobody knows whether it is better to have done it or not, and we'll find that out at the end of the season. So on whether there is more scope to make a signing in the summer, he says, I don't know. What I mean about that being disciplined is in everything in the kind of profile. In the kind of player that we believe can really make us better. Financially, there's a lot of ways that we must stay in that lane that has taken us this far, and from there to try improve. So this is a very important question. I love this question. So he was asked on whether he's considering one area as a forward. So he says we are going to have to be very flexible in the front line. And now the ones that we have in our feet, make sure they stay fit and continue and keep contributing. Leo can play in that position. Raheem has played in that position. Ethan, I think, can play in that position. Martinelli can play there. So let's see in the relation to how everybody is the movement and opponent, but at some point we are going to have to try something different. So Miguel was asked again on whether he can confirm a Dubai trip after Newcastle. He says, I think he's coming. That is what I discussed. On how we will approach the trip. He says, there are a lot of things that will be similar. The location, where we are staying, where we train. But of course, we will have to modify it. We are going at a different moment of the season with a different numbers, and probably the team needs a different stimulus. So we are preparing a few things, and hopefully it will work like it has the last few times. Nwaneri approaching the record for most goals scored before 18. He says, I didn't know about that record. The only thing that I want from him is that he continues to do what he has been doing and plays with freedom and tenacity when he is on the pitch. He has the ability to make it happen, and whether he does that or not will be a matter of time. So Mikel was asked on whether the right player wasn't available in the window. He said, I wouldn't like to go into too much details. We couldn't do it for certain reasons and we have to accept it. That is it. It was a combination of things. So at this point in time, I don't think we have to really distribute ourselves on why did Arsenal not get anybody in? Why did no? I think that is gone. I think we really have to focus on, moving forward and then what we can actually do with our squad as we have it right now. So Miguel was basically asked some other questions on whether it's a gamble to not make his squad bigger. He says it's not a gamble. On whether he's worried that he doesn't have enough numbers to compete. He says, now I focus on the numbers that I have, how to maximize them, how to make the best out of them. With all the problems we have already had, we are in February and I think it's remarkable what the team has done. So I have full faith in them. On the last question he was asked was, on whether Kai Havertz to thrive on being the number one striker. He says Kai has played so many games and has been important when other players, some big players as well, were available. Okay, so it's not because the player is not coming into his position that is going to be more important. In my opinion, it's nothing to do with that. So these were actually the things Mikel has to say on his pre-Arsenal press conference. So what we learned from this is that there is actually nothing you can tell Arsenal. It is whenever they are ready to bring in somebody that they will. I actually, for once, thought maybe as the transfer was going on, they were actually going to bring in somebody. Maybe the person usefulness or so is another factor, but I actually thought they were going to bring in someone. There's somebody who is going to come in on as a loan most likely just to be able to spice up the team. But unfortunately, we didn't get anybody in. That is quite interesting, and then it is what it is. So, Mikel also, there were also some other things where he let me see. Okay, so yeah, it says Newcastle versus Manchester. I mean Newcastle versus Arsenal. This is actually like a match preview. He says it's a do or die in terms of our Carabao Cup on Wednesday. This is just the summary. as we head to Newcastle United looking to overturn a 2-0 leg deficit to reach our first final in the competition since 2008. Now, we were also in the final in 2008, but we did not we did not win the cup. So now we are giving it a new try. Hopefully we will. So he says a month ago, goal from Alexander Isaac and Anthony Gordon once again did the damage as the house team seized a huge opportunity heading into, their home tie. And while they have beaten us at St. James's Park in back-to-back seasons, the Magpies have lost their last two games on Tennyside. Perhaps with one eye on this game and they spy an opportunity to end, a 55-year wait for a major trophy. Only two teams in history of the League Cup have overcome a home defeat in the first leg to reach the final. But we were the last when we famously piped Tottenham Hotspur in 1986 to 87. Those are our babies. Our 5-1 success against Manchester City, coupled with winning by three or more goals in three of our last eight away games, proved that there is enough firepower in our side to turn these ties on its head. So on the first leg, we all know what happened in the first leg. It says that in a game packed with goal scoring opportunities, Gabriel Martinelli turned the post after being played through by Leandro Trossard with the score at 0-0. But on 37th minute, Martin Dubraka, lobbed a long free kick into a crowd of players, and Jacob Murphy inadvertently notched it into the path of Isaac, who dispatched a clinical finish past David Raya via the crossbar. Just 5 minutes of the second half and the laps when Newcastle doubled their lead. Isaac picked up possession inside the area and got a shot, away at Raya. A way that Raya did well to push away from danger. But of course, Gordon snuck past Yuri and Timber to bury the rebound. Kai Havertz missed a great chance to pull one back when he miscued a header that came off his shoulder and went wide. And then the Magpies plunge on, give us plenty to do to turn things around. So, of course, we all are expecting a very, very big one today. I just went through Mikel Arteta's press conference here. So, Eddie Howe has to say that, we have to perform, we have to be ourselves. That is the challenge for us, focusing too much on the score line from the first leg, and the dynamics of that is no good. We just have to attack the game. My message is we are halfway point in the tie. The game is still very much alive. So we had to approach the game in a really positive and aggressive way. We are in a good position and need to make the most of every opportunity. So talking tactics and then team news, while Neto will be cup tied for this game, there are no concerns from Mikel Arteta heading into the game, meaning that Bukayo Saka's hamstring, Ben White, Mikhailo Tomiyasu, and Gabriel Jesus all knees are our only unavailable players. See my guys, see our squad. So the Magpies received, an injury scare on the weekend with Jolinton pictured in a protective knee brace following the game against Fulham. But Howe hasn't ruled him out yet. He could join Avi Barnes, Ty and Jamal lastly on the sideline. Callum Wilson is back in training after a hamstring injury, but this game could come too soon for him. While Bruno Guimaraes, Nick Pope, Fabian Schär, and Emil Kraft have all returned since missing the first leg. Lloyd Kelly joined Juventus on loan on deadline day, while Miguel and Morin has returned to Atlanta United. So, fact and stats. Newcastle are aiming to reach the League Cup final for the third time, progressing from both the semi-finals in 1957, 1956, 2022, 2023. They have won both of their previous semi-finals home legs. So who is our match official today? So Simon Oppa is actually going to be our match official. He has been handed the control of the semi-final and has been a good omen for us in 2024, 2025. As we have won all three matches, he has been in the middle for. The 3-0 win against Nottingham Forest, 5-1 success at Crystal Palace, and last month, North London derby triumph. In fact, we have won 8 of the 10 games he has officiated, although the last loss was when we last exited the League Cup at the hand of West Ham United last time. Newcastle, meanwhile, have only won 21 under his watch, although the last saw them win at Old Trafford back in December. The two leg of this game plus the other semi-final, Liverpool and Tottenham, we see a new VAR system try out, where the on-field referee explain decisions to the crowd via the PA system when he uses the P-side monitor. This isn't the case for decisions not made using monitor. So our referee is Simon Opa, and then the assistant is Andriam Holmes and then Simon Long. The fourth official is Thomas Bramall. VAR is John Brooks and assistant VAR is Nick Upton. So guys, these are the things we are actually going to be looking at today for our match in preparation against Newcastle. Hopefully we are going to win. Please remember to drop your comments in the comment section. What do you think the scoreline is going to be? Do you see us winning the match by today? Because I actually see us winning the match by at least 3 goals to 1. So please remember to drop your comments. Mikel is confident, the team is confident, our players are confident. Also remember to follow on X, just like I have said. It's really, really going to be a great place where we can have discussions, talk about important things, and I hope to see you guys. Thank you so much for staying tuned to my video. I really, really do appreciate everything. Please remember to share and comment. Thank you.